Welcome back to the Bear Trap on the Boomer Bust channel. This is a Bears podcast by a Chicago Bears fan. And real quick, I want to touch back on the Trubisky versus Watson debate. And I want to clarify because there's some people that came at me saying that I was saying Trubisky was better and there was no competition. What I meant by that is there literally is no competition. Prospects versus prospects, and looking at their career, because we didn't draft this guy. So let's talk about what the guy we drafted versus the guy we could have drafted. 99% of the time, there is no real comparison. There's no real competition. And so we have to look at it and understand that prospects go into different situations. This is not basketball. This is the ultimate team sport. This is football. Your situation is the vast majority determining factor in what your career will be. There are very, very few NFL players that can transcend scheme, that can be great no matter where they are at. There's not many of them. And I talked about this, but I want to say it up front again. The whole point I'm making is that you cannot compare Trubisky and Watson because they're two very different situations. Yes, we can ultimately talk about whose skills are better, but how can you do that when there's no even playing field? You got a guy on one team with one set of weapons, one set of coaches, and a guy on another team with another set of weapons, set of coaches, and different standards, different everything. So there's no way to compare apples to apples. That was my point. So I'm not saying Watson is better. I'm not saying Trubisky is better. What I'm saying is Bears fans saying, well, we're going to watch Watson. I keep saying Watkins. I'm sorry. We're going to watch Watson and Houston and say, well, the GM made the wrong decision. We made the wrong decision. Clearly that guy's better. You can't look at stuff by numbers alone. If you put Deshaun Watson in Chicago, he would not look good. If you put Trubisky in Houston, he would look better than he has been right now. For the most part, we can say that's a fact because the supporting cast and the situations are completely different. And so while we sit here and we want to make it as lazy and easy as possible and say, well, this guy's better than this guy because the numbers say he's better, it's not that easy. This ain't ESPN. We can't just sit here and just be talking heads. If you look at football, the point is it's a team sport. And so for you to be successful, you have to have other successful pieces around you. It's just how it is. There are very few players that can make other people look good. And so while that is one concept. The other concept, we're very young in the season. The social media age, the instant gratification age, like people want to judge everything right now. Rookies are rookies. And not even, I don't care if this was their third year. You cannot start judging them until later in their career. Like, let them have time to breathe. And so while we're trying to instantly say Watson was better, we should have drafted him, I can't sit here and agree with that. And even still, I would tell you, don't look at Deshaun Watson as the litmus test as how good Trubisky is. Just look at Trubisky and the Bears in their own thing because they're their own isolated circumstance. You cannot compare those two things. And so I'm not trying to say Trubisky is better and there's no competition. I'm saying there's no competition because unless they are both playing on the same team, then there's no way to evaluate apples to apples. So just let it go. Anyway, that's my quick thoughts and clarification on Trubisky versus Watson. Now go to the comment section and tell me what you think. Thumbs up, subscribe, trying to share the channel, and thank you for listening.